hard to find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop. Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We got Old School here. We're about to bring it. Come on in here, Clyde. We are live from the complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. We're here at Lincoln's premier boxing facility, the complex, the building formerly known as Champions Fun Center. We're going to have some fun this weekend. See my man to the left here, knock some people out. It's owned by Tommy and Tina in connection with the Southside Boxing Gym. Newly renovated, 17,000 square feet. Can hold up to 1,800 people, food and alcohol options available. This event Saturday is Roughnecks at the complex. Doors open at 6. First bout is at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at thecomplexlincoln.com. You got 8 professional boxing bouts this Saturday. You got Brandon Diaz versus Curtis Ellis. Melanie Timko versus Randy Baby Doll Langley Morales. Then my man right here, Clyde Johnson versus Isaiah. We'll call him the wannabe Patriot Robinson. And the headliner, Dwayne, Not the Rock Johnson versus Jack Lawless. What is it? How you say that? Frericks. And this is Old School with my new school dude over here. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 32 Yankee Hill, 85th and Andremat, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. Without further ado, Clyde, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. It's an
honor
to be here.
You got him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move a little closer to
Yeah.
your mouth here.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're all
there
the
you
way
go.
up. There
You
we
got
go.
it?
Got me there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we got you.
Perfect.
Yeah, Clyde, how you been, man?
I've been doing well since the last time I saw you guys.
Yeah, real well.
Great turnout.
Yeah. And there was DP did the ring announcement. You came in handling your business, and I know what it's like to go into what I viewed as war and battle. Obviously, not to what. Obviously, you got more realistic things going on over there across the water. So just I'll just say going into a battle. When do you start to turn? It's Wednesday. Eating time is on Saturday. When do you start to really, really like lock in and build that momentum to where you hit your peak come Saturday?
Yeah, because I'm such a focused dude and I take everything one step at a time. I'll continue to work on the things I need to lead up to the fight at this point, whether that's keeping weight where it is, because I've been walking around at fighting weight now for almost 2 weeks.
Right.
I'll continue to handle things around the house also as a husband, as a father. And then around Saturday, around 3:00, I'll start, watching the Huskers.
Yeah.
And start dialing in a little bit, seeing that competitive energy start flowing. And then by the time it hits about 8:00, 9:00 fight night, I've 100% flipped that switch and I'm dialed in.
Yeah, and you talk about you walking around right at what you have to weigh in at, and it's about 190, 191. I'm always amazed by whether it's boxing, UFC, or whatever, just the amount of how you guys are able to, I guess, rehydrate yourself. And I've talked with you before we came on air. And I wouldn't say it's easy for you, but I'm always fascinated by the discipline because I think for me as a former player, a football player, the discipline is where I got the confidence.
Yep.
Is that where you get your obviously superior skills, but is that part of where you get your confidence?
Nope, absolutely. The preparation when no one's watching is the things that I take pride in. You're not in the kitchen with me. And then part of it is I say a lot of the times at the club level and even at the bright lights Las Vegas level, a lot of athletes, especially in this profession in boxing, aren't disciplined enough to put away things that don't benefit you in the ring. So for example, I'm on 12 weeks, no liquor, no cigars, eating all of the right things and making sure that I'm getting the proper nutrition.
Right.
So when I'm looking at an opponent, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you have been as disciplined as I have. So then what that does for me is tell me that the running at 4:30 a.m., the strength training in the afternoon, and then the skill work in the evening, you're doing maybe one of them, not all three of them.
Right. And that's amazing because one thing I always talk about is visualization, at least for me.
Absolutely.
Just from all type of situations and whether it came true or not, and helped me like overcome any adversity in a football game, but I always kind of thought about how I'd rebound. When you start to visualize stuff, here's what I got two questions. Do you ever just find yourself in the middle of the day and you're, maybe driving down and then boom, you start thinking about, okay, this situation. Do you start to visualize what you're doing? And then you snap back out of it, and then you obviously got your father duties and husband duties at home.
Yeah, and I'm a lot like you are in that setting. I pride myself on being able to just visualize these things and then bring them to fruition. So I've seen the night numerous times now. I've already seen it. I've already seen the introduction. I've seen me enter in the ring. I've seen you give me your best effort, and it's not enough.
Right.
At this point, a wise guy once said the hay's already in the barn.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've done the work. And even if you've done the work as long as I have, you haven't worked as hard. So that when I'm sitting back visualizing it, it's just me deciding when and what I want to do at what point.
And you mentioned you run at 4:30, and I was listening to whether it's TikTok or Instagram. Mike Tyson was saying that when he used to run early, and Floyd Mayweather said the same thing. Muhammad Ali said the same thing. He does it because I know everybody else hates it, and I'm going to make it and make it feel like I like it. Talk about the discipline and working out when nobody's watching, because nobody's up at 4:30 hitting it as hard as you are, be getting your day started. Talk about that type of mindset, because it's a different type of mindset versus, okay, I'll get up, eat breakfast, train at 12 and maybe go late at night. You're starting early, getting a lot of work done.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I look at myself as very blue collar. and a lot of things aren't going to be pretty. Nike has a commercial right now saying success isn't comfortable.
Right.
And there's nothing in comfort at alarm clock going off at 4:30, sprinklers still going.
Yep.
The entire neighborhood is still asleep, and getting out there, getting that road work in. But for me, a part of why I do it is because what you said. No one else is doing it, and the fact that I know that no one else is doing it, it gives me that confidence to go out and continue to push the tab a little bit. In each round, maybe each minute, I'll turn it up just another notch.
Right.
And a lot of time, because fighters come in and they think, okay, their endurance is at a high level, they try to show it right away. And I'll allow you to begin to empty that tank. And then with these body shots, I'll take the rest of that out of you before I turn my endurance up.
Yeah, and that's great when you think about, even though, you know, it's going to be hot on Saturday and it's going to come down to endurance. And I think the one thing I always try to tell my athletes that, you know, that I coach in basketball and train in football is that, you know, it's not physical endurance, because generally, like, if you're at practice, you're going to be in shape, and, you know, coaches can kind of make you work hard.
Yep.
I try to work with athletes on the mental endurance. Talk about that, because that's so important, especially in this day and age, to mentally train yourself, to be in tune, to be focused, to have the intent longer, harder, and stronger.
Yeah. My camp helps with that in a great way, because I'm very go. And I have some veterans in my camp. Patrick One Punch Thompson, he's good at saying, because he had 39 professional fights, he's fought on HBO, he's fought at Madison Square Garden. Hey, we at this point in Camp Clyde, here's what we need to do.
Right.
We're more focused on technique and mentally breaking down this opponent, and not just the physical part of it. The physical part has been taken care of. My fight back in May was just to simply get the ring rust off, and we brought in a dog to get my ring rust off. At one point, the young guy punches me in my forearm, and I realized that he could punch a hole into a wall. So mentally, I feel like we have the edge already, because these guys are making posts on social media bragging about sparring rounds and things of that nature. At this point, buddy, I don't care how many rounds you spar or who you spar, it isn't going to make you better by Saturday. We've already done the tough sparring. You know, we've already brought in outside components that have a very extensive background in boxing, and we made some Class A guys look bad. So I'm pretty sure Saturday we're gonna do the same thing.
And, you know, one thing that I take from you is that you're constantly learning, and that's when you really are detailing your craft. And I always say that when somebody was asking me what it's like, you know, between plays or between series in football, in your case would be round to round. Now, so you got your manager in your corner, you know, giving you advice. But talk about it when you're walking back to your corner. And I remember this just like yesterday, going to the sideline and what I learned about. Heck, I had to go against Larry Allen, so I had to have a game plan for the dude. And then you're constantly you talk about evaluating yourself, you're learning, and then you're kind of keeping a checklist. Okay, that was good, that was okay, that wasn't good. I got to be aware of this, and then you got to snap into your corner man saying, "Listen, we got to do this, that," and then next thing you know, you got to get greased up and you're back out there.
Yep, absolutely. And like you said, part of it is simply downloading the knowledge prior till the rounds. Because this day and age, everyone posts something. So every time an individual who has to get in the ring with me posts something, we learn something from that. So then initially, right away, I go in, I set traps. I want to see, there's probably 3 to 6 traps that I'll set in the first round alone. And then I'll come back and check those traps later in the round. And then I know exactly which ones are going to be successful come second round. So, for example, I went out, set traps in my last fight. We came out within the first 30 seconds of the second round. We drop him flat on his back in the middle of the ring, because those traps that I set the round prior
came
were
to
there.
fruition.
They were right there. And it unfolded exactly how I thought it would, exactly how my corner put the game plan into place. And then, like you said, there's a set of 3 eyes, 4 counting mine, that's constantly breaking this one person down. and because my team is so well oiled, they each have a time to give me just a little bit, and normally it aligns perfectly with what I've seen during that first round or that second round, or however deep we have to take it.
Right.
Out of the 3 to 6 traps, 2 of them are going to be there,
Right.
and one of them can get you out of there at any time. So you have to be careful.
You mentioned your team, and I think it's always important because people always just focus on just you in the ring, Clyde in the ring, and whoever you're fighting against. In this case, you're fighting against Isaiah Robinson. Talk about your team individually, what they bring, including I know your wife. She does it. That's a big sacrifice because when you're in game mode, Clyde is in game mode, and then talk about your trainers, and then just talk about them as a whole because it's I mean, you're a product of them. Everybody believing in you, and then obviously inspiring you to do great things.
No, absolutely. I mentioned Patrick already. He brings a ton of experience to the table to where it keeps you even Q at all times.
Right.
And then as far as Eric, Big E is what we call him.
Yeah, I know.
He's a guy who knows the nutrition part of it, the strength and conditioning part of it extremely well, but he also is a mad scientist when it comes to putting combinations together.
Right.
And then Lance has a professional eye. He always have. He's able to watch an individual, download everything we need, share it with the rest of the team, and then we craft each round for this individual fighter. So, for example, Isaiah probably has gone back and watched my fight from May.
Right.
And he thinks he has an understanding of who Clyde is. I'm here to warn you. That fight and what you saw that night was crafted for him.
Right.
We have something completely different for you. I'm a chameleon when I step in that ring. It's for you. This is personally for you. So each opponent that goes back and watch film and says, oh, yeah, so this is what he likes to do. He has a bad habit of this. He has a great jab, or he does this extremely well. Yeah, that was for him.
Right.
I have something different for you.
Right. And you talk, I mean, that's versatility. And me and Austin, we're talking about, different defensive fronts. And I feel like if you're a good football player, and particularly, obviously, I play defense, you should have versatility to play different positions and different defenses. Correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me where your versatility or I think your love to be versatile came from. Did you watch a lot of boxing? Well, do you still watch a lot of boxing and say, hey, you're watching so-and-so, whether it's Canelo, say, man, you know what? I'd like to add that part to my game. Maybe not what he does because you are you and he's Canelo, but I can add the Clyde style to take you to the next level and be versatile. And then it's not such a big deal for you to switch when you have to go into prime time.
Yep, some of the fighters that I absolutely have a close eye on right now is, of course, Terrence Crawford.
Right.
Of course, Bivol. Bivol is one of my favorite fighters. He's actually a guy who beat Canelo.
Right.
I enjoy Canelo as a fighter, but I don't miss boxing. I watch all of the boxing. And some of my favorite boxers are the amateur boxers here at Southside Boxing.
Right.
There's kids here that'll be fighting that night on the card. One being Brayley, for example. He's a young man who has a heck of a combination so that he can run off, and his feet are so amazing.
Right.
He probably weighs 120 pounds, maybe, but I mimic his footwork. So when I'm in there with guys my size, I'm moving faster than them because I'm mimicking some of my favorite fighters, and some of them are amateurs out of Southside Boxing.
Yeah.
Along with, like I said, some big time guys like Terrence Crawford and Bivol. And the monster,
right?
But yeah, I'm always watching boxing.
Right.
I'm always breaking down some film of someone.
Yeah, you always got to be a student of your of your game, and if you love your craft enough, you always, doesn't matter who's boxing or when they're boxing, you'll take it.
Yep,
internally and turn it into gold. One thing I want to ask you is about Southside Boxing and how much it's grown.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you a funny story. I was at I think Chipotle. And one of your boxers, from May, when I was here, last time, he's working there, and he was about to have another fight. And I was like, "Look, man, when I come back next week, I want to know you won." He won, but he was so proud of being a part of Southside Boxing Gym. Talk about that because, I start to see people wearing it more, and you're starting to, obviously gain traction, a lot more traction, and all that stuff. But it's a byproduct of you, and then obviously everybody else. But talk about how proud you are of Southside starting to really, really explode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things to where it's a family environment. And with it being a family environment, and individuals have a chance to come in and check out the facilities, check out the coaching staff, check out some of the fighters that make it onto posters or make it onto the main card come Saturday night. They see that it is welcoming.
Right.
And then it also stands for something. You can't just be in school doing academically bad and continue to attend Southside
Right.
Boxing. You can't have any outside distractions as far as minors participating in things that minors shouldn't. Or even if you're an adult and if you're a troublesome adult,
Right.
then you're not welcome here until you can curb those things.
Right.
So mainly with it being a nonprofit, Southside Boxing being a nonprofit, when you come here, you have to come here with the intentions of giving to the youth.
Right.
And it's a big part and a big reason why I'm under the umbrella of Southside Boxing and affiliated with the Complex and RC Promotions, because
Right.
it all runs together as far as a family environment, starting with Tommy, Tina, their literal family,
Right.
and then it extends to the boxing family. And I think that's why you've seen the growth.
Right.
And you continue to see individuals that's been a part of Southside Boxing continue to come back. And there's been cases where people have left because at the time we didn't have enough space, but now we have enough space. They're now back.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be out here, and it's even even more done up from when we were out here just a few months ago. It's definitely going to be popping come Saturday night.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, then we'll dive into some more questions. I always like getting into your mind, man, because I know what it's like to sit there and get ready to go, and you really getting in there ready to get going. So I want to dive into a little bit about the mental side, but then also the preparation side, which can help some of our football fans be educated on what it's like to get ready to go play a game. But in your case, for your bout come Saturday night. But Jay Foreman, Clyde Johnson, my man Austin Orman, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old school back in live in effect from the complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue out here with my man Clyde Johnson. Obviously on the eve of the Roughnecks at the complex. Doors open at 6. First bout is at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at thecomplexlincoln.com. Diving into the mind of a champion boxer, I wanted to ask you, man, we were talking about preparation. And, it kind of goes along with football, obviously. And we talked about, when does it start? Obviously, with you starting to get started. But one of the things I wanted to ask you is when you were watching, other fighters that either have been here or professionally, now, when you hear like Larry Merchant and all those guys, and they can tell by the eye test who's in shape, who's had a good camp, what are some of the things that for somebody that's going to come here Saturday can see some of these fighters, like whether it's Brandon or Curtis or Melanie or Dwayne or Jack or somebody like that they've had a good camp?
Yeah, you can look at a guy like Jack and just take a look at his physique and the weight that he'll be fighting at. That tells you a lot about him. Some fighters come in and they may look like they have exhausted themselves to make that weight.
Too dehydrated, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But because I've been in training camp with Jack for the last 8 to 10 weeks, I've watched them do it the right way,
Right.
along with myself, along with one of the young ladies that'll be fighting on the card as well, Georgina.
Yeah.
The preparation has been done, and then some of the things that have passed the eye test is being able to look at them and look at how healthy they look.
Right.
You'll see some fighters that night that strain themselves to make weight, or you'll even see some fighters that night that look a little soft around the midsection.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at some most recent film and post that came out within the last week or so, I was kind of looking at my opponent and thinking to myself, you missed some discipline.
Right. And is that just something that you just kind of just put in the memory bank? And, obviously you're not going to voice it, but I'm always interested when I used to hear, like, you could tell he had a good camp. And obviously I think Lennox Lewis is on there, and he can dive into it, whether, the skin or something like that.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that because I always thought it was very interesting because, sometimes you feel like where you are hydrated, but you're not. There's other factors that go into it. Whether you're hydrated and fully ready to go, especially for a one-on-one, boxing bout, is always interesting. The valuation process, because I remember when you size for you're looking across the ring at your opponent. For me, we're always trying to get towards that 50-yard line.
Yep.
Because I want to see, how Alan Faneca is moving. Does he have any any kind of braces on that he didn't have maybe for the 2 weeks that I studied him for the prior games. So I'm always interested in the gamesmanship, but then also the evaluation process of how do you go about trying to attack your opponent, especially when they're 3-minute rounds. You got to be on. You can't take a playoff. Like with me, I could Randy Moss is running down there. I could probably just run to the sideline. I ain't gonna catch him. And with you always got to kind of keep pressing him and be very diligent about it. But now moving on to things as you get ready to obviously go to fight on Saturday, and let's talk about our Huskers.
Yep.
Because I want to talk about conditioning and dealing with when you're out there in the heat. Talk about. I always say this. Once I realized what it's like to be in excellent football shape, and you probably in your profession, obviously boxing shape, talk about that aha moment. Because did you ever have a moment where you were getting trained, early in your career, and you thought you were in shape?
Yep.
But then the trainer or you pushed yourself beyond being uncomfortable. Then you're like, okay, I know what he means by being in shape.
Yeah. Earlier on in my amateur career, I hopped in a ring with a guy who had a deep pedigree. He was a guy who's been winning at all stops. And I came out the first 2 rounds, and I thought I was in such great shape. I pushed. And then it was going back and forth. And about the last minute to a last minute and 30, he turned it up a different notch. And I couldn't go with him.
Right.
And he didn't stop me or knock me out. But when the final bell rang, he walked past me and he told me, "Rookie." But I knew exactly what he meant because he went somewhere, and I knew in my head I couldn't get there. I tried to go with him, and he kept going.
Right.
And ever since that moment, it was probably about my 12th fight as an amateur. I said it'll never be because of conditioning again.
Right.
It'll never be because I didn't prep or I didn't put in the work again. If you ever beat me, you're going to need 3 things, and you're going to need them to all click at that night.
Right.
You're going to have a very high IQ, because I pride myself on being smarter than a lot of people, not just in the ring, but outside the ring.
Right.
So this is all from preparation. So the IQ is going to have to be very high. You're going to have to be very skilled.
Right.
There's going to have to be a high level of skill that goes with that IQ. And then you're going to have to be willing to take yourself to a dark place in order to get me out of there. That dark place for me come from where my initial upbringing come from. I'm originally from the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
I grew up in some very humble beginnings in the project on the south side of Chicago. So I know what it's like to bite down and go. So if you don't have all 3 of those, with all due respect, you have a puncher's chance, but there really isn't a chance for you when I decide to tap into one of those 3. Because I've done the preparation, my IQ's there, and if I have to, I'm gonna take you to a dark place and see if you can find your way to the light.
Right.
It'll get ugly if it needs to be.
Right. Yeah, and then you call it a dark place in football. We say we're going to take you out to deep water. We're going to see how long you want you want to sink or swim.
Yep.
You mentioned being from Southside Chicago. I got some friends that I played with, and then obviously, I know you and other people. Talk about, first of all, people don't realize you as a hooper.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so talk about your upbringing in Southside Chicago, and then also the sport basketball that has allowed you to have impressive footwork in there, by the way, but then also has taught you a different way to compete. Talk about that, because I think it kind of flows over into boxing as well.
It absolutely does. And Chicago is a basketball city. It's a huge sports city in general. People know that, but it's definitely rooted in basketball. And at every corner you can find a basketball court and some competitive hoops. The thing about playing basketball in Chicago, if you go to an open run, if you lose, you might as well try to find the next open run.
Right.
So you had to be extremely competitive. You had to even prep yourself before you got there for the mental battle that comes along with playing basketball in Chicago.
Right.
The trash talk is different. The physicality is different. We play completely downhill, getting to the basket. Derrick Rose, there's guys who come from the city, even like Kevin Garnett. If you ever watch Kevin Garnett play basketball, he didn't shut up.
Right.
As he gave you the business.
Right. Yeah.
So if you couldn't put in work and mentally battle, then you couldn't cut it in Chicago as far as basketball or in life in general. So for boxing, when guys think they can do a bunch of hoopla and talk their way into making themselves more confident, it's going in one ear, out the other. And the only thing I'm thinking is, you're going to have to show me.
Right.
And even when you show me, you're going to show me again, because I still don't believe you.
Right.
And then I want to see how you react to what I have to show you.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to tell me a lot. It's easy to dish it out. It's like a bully mentality.
Right.
Where I'm from, we bully the bullies.
Yeah, and that's a perfect leadway into Nebraska playing Rutgers.
Absolutely.
Coming in, they play hard. There's quote unquote a tough team, and somebody was asking me about it. But a lot of guys are tough guys, right?
Yeah.
And or say they are, but when you're tough right back to them, generally things open up for you. Talk about that as well. How important it is for Nebraska come Saturday afternoon or late afternoon to, I wouldn't say even match Rutgers, so quote unquote toughness, establish their own. Talk about that, because that's a mindset in the boxing too, where you say, hey, he's a grinder, he likes to get in. Well, then he hasn't met Clyde Johnson yet.
No,
so
absolutely.
Now you got to deal with Clyde in the way I want to conduct business. I'm going to be respectful of what you want to do, but I'm also going to dictate it on my end.
Yeah, definitely. You're tough until you run into Robinson.
Right.
You're tough until Bullock's right there in your face.
Right.
You're tough until Johnson's in the backfield. He gets a handoff and he's making you miss consistently. And then the young QB, you're tough until he's mature enough to be in the pocket and go through his options. And then there's nothing there. He'll throw the ball away. That's one thing that's super impressive about that young man to me, is the maturity and the IQ to say, okay, there isn't anything there right now. Instead of forcing it, I'm going to live for the next play.
Right.
So for me, it's one of those things to where I can live behind this jab for now until I find that one big shot I'm looking for.
Right.
No need to go out and try to force that big shot. It'll be there. Just continue to jab away at it, keep plucking away at it, and it'll open itself up. So for those fellas, when you find yourself, because it's a home game, when you find yourself at the campus with the most consecutive sellouts,
oh yeah,
it's a different beast.
Yeah, it's a different beast.
It's a different beast.
Yeah, it's a different beast hearing about it versus being in the arena. I always feel like it. And for you, I wanted to ask you about, everybody obviously sees that, whether it's here we talk about it, see it on TV, the knockouts. Talk about the patience it takes, because I view maybe being patient is equivalent. Obviously, we got the Royals going on. Is if you have a, say a 2-1 fastball and you should have swung it, but you got to be patient. It might not come until your third at bat versus your first one. Talk about the patience there. Just say, okay, I had that opportunity. Don't get down on myself, because I'll get it again. And when I get it again, he's going night-night.
Yep. It's one of those things to where for the casual fan, they're used to seeing that highlight, that knockout. For diehard fans, they know that there's a scoring system. And they know that boxers take a lot of pride in this thing right here, hit and not being hit.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime you can leave a fight clean, unscathed, no damage, there's the victory in itself. Because there's still loved ones who want to see that for you.
Yeah.
There's still more bouts to take on.
Right.
So the least amount of damage you can take is better. So for me, it's up to the opponent if he wants to get knocked out or not.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the option.
Yeah.
Because if you get overly aggressive with me, then I can match you there.
Right.
And I have the power to match you there to where I can stop you.
Right.
But if you want to go skill for skill, let's do that, because I've prepared for that as well. But I will say this: my amateur career, I had a 50% knockout ratio. My last fight went to the cards; it was unanimous. I did drop them. I'll be completely honest. I went back to the corner at the end of the second round, and my corner asked me, the truth is, Clyde, if you want to, you can get him out of there. What do you want to do? Do you want to go out and get him out of there, or you want to get the rounds in? And I said, I want to get the rounds in. And they said, don't change your mind.
Yeah.
I said, no, I want to get the rounds in. So they said, okay, go out there and get the rounds in. At the end of the third round, I come back to the corner, and Patrick, one punch, he tells me, I saw you pull back because you was about to get him out of there. I said, yeah, I let him live. He said, all right, remember, get the rounds in.
Right.
So it's one of those things to where, because I had a 50% knockout ratio as an amateur, and my last fight went to the card, unanimous victory, the numbers say this kid's getting knocked out Saturday.
Right. Oh, so you just
the numbers,
every other time. I just gotta go ahead and knock you out.
The numbers say that he's lined up for a knockout.
Yeah, so you come in. Yeah, I like that, man.
Yep.
And you know, I think I told Austin this, and it's the equivalent of knockout in football is like the big hits. Now they can't hit like when we used to because you got player safety. But I always told him some of the hits that hurt the most are ones that look the most innocent. And nobody. It's kind of like you hit, and then you absorb the power of each other. Do you ever have that in boxing where, say, like if I was watching and you hit your opponent, Saturday night, and I was like, oh, he didn't buckle too bad, but that hurt him.
Yeah.
That hurt him, and that hurt him. And then okay, I'm gonna keep hurting him, toy with him.
Yep.
Or it's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put you out.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where if you land punches in certain areas of the body.
Yeah.
The man could be 6'9", 270, or he could be 5'5", 147.
Yeah.
Regardless, you hit certain parts of the body, it takes something out the tank.
Right.
It has your opponent over there rethinking whether or not they want to risk it again.
Yeah.
And you can see it in their face, and because the crowd hear each other more than what they hear what's going on in the ring. There's been times that I've hit guys with body shots, and I can hear them go, oof.
Oh yeah.
And I know, okay, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's exactly where it's at. I'm gonna go back there multiple times.
Right. And so, that's the body shots are, everybody thinks of like Rocky back in the day. what are things like people need to do to help you to absorb the body? Is it abs? Is it core? Or is it just better defense?
It's definitely a benefit to have a strong core.
Right.
In all things you do, but also
every sport,
in this sport. But definitely you need to have a strong core, but you need to be able to play some solid defense also.
Yeah.
You have to be able to play some solid defense. And a lot of times people think just because your elbows are down by your sides that considered to be protection. You can have your elbows down by your side, and I'm simply punching your elbow into your body repeatedly.
Right.
I don't necessarily have to, my gloves don't necessarily have to hit your body.
Right, yeah.
I'll wear your elbow out to the fact to where now you considering moving your elbow and prefer your body to get hit until the ref's at 9. You can't get up.
Oh man, that's awesome stuff, man. We're gonna take a quick break. Come back again. We are live out here at the complex, old school, Jay Foreman and Austin Norman and my man Clyde Johnson, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. Talking about Roughnecks at the complex Saturday, 6 p.m. Doors open. You got food and alcohol options. First bout is 7. My man Clyde's going to be starting to get that party started about 9:30, and he's promised me my man's going to be out about 9:45.
We'll get him out of there.
Yes, sir. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Clyde Johnson, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NIPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NIPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NIPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. We're live out here at the complex once again, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, my man Clyde Johnson. Quick segment here before we get my man Jack Lawless to come in.
Yes, sir.
And to drop a little wisdom. But Clyde, before we let you get up out of here, Rutgers is coming to town. They're going to experience sellout 401. Nebraska's, Rutgers coming in ranked number 23. Nebraska was ranked and not ranked right now, but what's your expectations? What do you think the outcome is going to be come Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, buckle down, strap in. I'm calling it 31-20 Huskers. I think we had kind of an emotional letdown.
Right.
The Illinois game was definitely a trap game after the games that led into it.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things to where our young core had to learn the hard way. I think they've learned those lessons. I think they've prepared. And last week they came out and showed that they can adjust and be a second half team.
Right.
I feel like they'll put it all together come Saturday and make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm calling it 31-20.
Yeah.
Big Red.
I like that, man. Double-digit victory and get back in there. They beat Rutgers. They probably definitely be in the top 25. Yeah. I think like with this game here, obviously they got a really good running back, well coached. Always going to be aggressive, good special teams. Greg Schiano personally coaches his special teams, so you know that they're invested in it. So, you got to also dive into the mindset of Rutgers where they feel like, okay, they probably feel across the landscape of college football, not a lot of people are putting emphasis on special teams. So the head coach is going to dive into it and try to gain an advantage there. So if Nebraska can break even or possibly nullify their special teams,
absolutely,
it definitely sways Nebraska into the more into the win category. I think the defense takes the mindset, and then very rarely do you get a chance to right the wrong. A team that's going to come in and try to be physical, defense starts fast and plays physical and brings the heat to them, controls the game. Now they got a good running game and good running backs, controlling them and keeping them from really, really being a problem. I think Nebraska pulls it out, and I like that score 31-20. I was going to say a little bit along the lines of like 27-21 or something like that. Nothing, where Nebraska has the control of the game. They close it out either offensive or defensively, and then obviously everybody's happy. I do think that we have a little bit more of advantage. We've had a very hot summer, have played in multiple hot games. I think our depth is probably a little bit deeper than them. I mean, and we've been able to play a lot of guys, and the guys have been able to play well and get some experience. So that'll hopefully let you fresher, or let us be fresher down the stretch. So I think Nebraska pulls it out. It's going to be a tough game. Just like, any opponent in a boxing match, but as long as you go out there and earn it, then next thing you know, you're in the locker room, just like you are. You're like, you know what, celebrating is all worth it. So appreciate you coming by, man. I mean, obviously, you're locked in, and we'll definitely be supporting. But we're going to take a quick break, come back to the top of the 5 o'clock hour, continue along. We got my man Jack Lawless coming in. We're going to ask him where he got that name from and how he's prepared to knock out Dwayne, the wannabe Rock Johnson, come Saturday night. But Jay Foreman, Clyde Johnson, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2, Old School live in effect out here at the complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. On the eve of Roughnecks at the complex. Doors open at 6 p.m. First bout is at 7 p.m. If you want tickets, thecomplexlincoln.com. The headliner is Dwayne Johnson versus Jack Lawless. And how can we pronounce your last name?
It's Frericks.
Frericks.
Yep.
It's sitting to my left. Jack, welcome in on Old School, man.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, I know you were getting warmed up. We're only going to have you for a couple minutes, let you get back to business. Now, I always probably like to think the hay's in the barn. And just talk about the excitement that you got coming up here for Saturday.
I'm very excited for this fight, man. This was a big one. We did a lot of preparation for it. This is the most ready I've been for a fight. I'm ready to show off all the hard work, and we got a tough opponent, and I'm ready to showcase my skill against a tough opponent, show people what I can do.
And, I got 2 questions before I let you go. We'll do the hard question. What got you or what pushed you to boxing? When did it first all right, I want to do this on a bigger level?
I always had a passion for it, like watching it and stuff. Yeah. And then when I was younger, like a teenager and stuff, I'd get into fights, fight with buddies and get in fights and everybody, I was winning a lot of them. So everybody's like, man, you should do something with that. And I was sitting there watching it one day and I was like, yeah, I can do that. Know? So I got into it and just ran with it.
And now before we let you go, man, where'd your nickname or how'd you earn your nickname? Lawless.
So Lawless is actually my real middle name.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I would get into fights, and I got a little bit of trouble when I was younger. So we had I got a bunch of nicknames, but we were like, let's just leave Lawless. It's too good of a middle name. Just leave out. Let's leave it there.
Yeah. Divine Intervention, man. Hey, I know you're getting ready. I saw you over there getting loose. Appreciate you. Just wanted to introduce you to everybody because we're going to try to get some more people here. Watch you take care of Dwayne the Wannabe Rock Johnson Saturday night. Nice to meet you, my man.
Nice
let you get back going, and appreciate you stopping by.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good stuff there, man. You're bringing in my man Austin, right? We're out here, man. I'll tell you what, Austin. You're gonna switch it on here. I know we're going back and forth, but we had Clyde on, got Jack on here, and the great thing about it, we've been here a few months ago, Austin, and then obviously it's I was growing, and you got a big card here come Saturday. Obviously. We had the football game coming up beforehand, and so we were texting back and forth about stuff. We got NFL stuff, we got college stuff. The one thing is, just NFL stuff. And there was a big trade, obviously, with Cat Williams. I heard you and Strick talking about it. I almost texted in, but I'm gonna save it for now. When trades happen, here's the funny thing about when you get traded. I remember I played up in Buffalo at 4 good years, and they had signed a guy. This is when the internet was like dial-up, So they were at the combine, and Greg Williams that came from Tennessee, and one of his, good player. And he was a great linebacker. His name was Eddie Robinson Jr. His dad is well-respected and a Hall of Fame coach from Grambling State. Who was great, great pioneer for the sport, or for the sport of football. And he was a good Eddie Robinson Jr. was a good linebacker. I was younger. I felt like I was better, but familiar, right? And so they had this. It's kind of like PFF, but it was KFFL.com. I always sometimes see if it ever is still alive, but that I was like, I read, and my heart sunk. It's the Buffalo Bills, according to Eddie Robinson Jr.'s agent, he's going to sign a 1-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. No, your boy was hot. I just had a career year. I'm thinking I need to get re-up. And Danny Smith, who's a special teams coach at Pittsburgh now, and he was like, look, man, you can beat him out. You just got to go do it, da-da-da-da. And next thing you know, next practice, or I think I don't even know the next practice. I think I was in the stretch line. Greg put his arm around me, walked me to the locker room. I didn't even know what I was doing because I was so mad. I didn't know what they were doing. And here comes Tom Donahoe, and they were like, "Hey, we traded you to Houston." Well, then everybody asked me, what, do you feel bad that you mad that you got traded? This, and that. And I was like, you know what? No, because I got traded. That means somebody wanted me, right? At least enough to make the trade. I don't know. They weren't dumping assets like they, doing some trade. But then it dawned on me. I think just before that summer, I think Shaq, or within a year or two, it got traded. And I thought to myself, I was like, I was a decent, NFL player, and you had some really good players, Hall of Fame players I played during the same time. Junior Seau, Zach Thomas, Ray Lewis, among many others, and Shaq, and I would say that. And so I was like, you know what? They're one of the most dominant players to ever step foot in his sport can get traded. So can I. And so that goes to what Cat Williams is, or not Cat Williams.
I thought you were doing that on purpose. This
nickname. Carl Anthony Towns. Cat he got traded. He was the number 1 overall pick, up and down in Minnesota. I think as that team started to progress and mature, I think he started to immature. And then he got traded. He's going back to his home or his stomping grounds, where he's from. He grew up a Knicks fan. And so if there was ever a trade between the two major players, Timberwolves and the Knicks, that could most likely end up like a win-win, it's probably this. The Knicks are getting rid of Randall, who I feel for him because he went through the grind.
Yeah.
Coming over from the Lakers and kind of built him in there, brought that toughness. Kind of a crazy injury last year because he was playing good because, he was taking a lot of heat. And then we get Dante, the red-headed sniper.
The big ragu.
Yep. And then the Knicks get Cat. So I think if it's ever going to be win-win, this potentially could be it. But also I know that, all three of the major players have a little bit of anxiety and angst going to new surroundings and cities, considering both teams had tremendous success last year, and all three of them were productive. Generally, you trade two types of players: declining players or headaches. None of those fit these three. What are your thoughts on the trade?
Yeah, the declining player might fit Julius Randle after the injury, but it's wait and see. He's still productive.
Right.
Headache doesn't seem to fit Karl Anthony Towns. Maybe earlier in his career it did, and he was trying to figure it out, but it was more a headache, not because he was a knucklehead necessarily, right? He wasn't getting into trouble. It was, what's my role in the NBA? Who am I as a player? Still trying to figure that out, and then having a coach like Tom Thibodeau, some young players will thrive, some young players will buckle. And not that Karl Anthony Towns buckled by any means, but butting heads with Jimmy Butler, who's much more of a Tibbs type of player when he came in. I'm sure that shook Karl Anthony Towns to some degree, and he needed Tibbs to be fired to grow into that role. And Tibbs found a good landing spot for himself in New York. It sounds like they've had these conversations. The Knicks have been pursuing him for a while.
Yeah.
And so now both sides want it to work. So I think having that understanding is key. I think it's good for Karl Anthony Towns to not be the number one option.
I do too.
I don't think he's an NBA number one. It was good that Anthony Edwards came in and took over that mantle. Gobert, I think, drew a lot of criticism too. So I think maybe we paint Karl Anthony Towns in a bit of a more positive light because Rudy Gobert took so much negative attention away from him. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns is a perfect fit for New York, but he's a better fit against Boston. He's probably a better fit against Philly if he can stretch Embiid out to the perimeter. He's probably a better fit against Cleveland if they still want to run two bigs. You can
Yeah.
run him with Robinson. You can run him at the 5, probably for
Oh,
a
yeah.
little, not great, but if you want to blitz teams on offense, you can
Yeah.
do that for, 3, maybe 4 minutes at a time, and then bring a backup big man in. Not a perfect move for either side. It
Yeah.
stinks that you don't get to see these teams run it back, because that's what some fans like, is the continuity, getting to know and love these players. But at the same time, it's the business of the NBA.
Yeah.
Both these teams are running into that second apron, and that kills you, especially Minnesota in a smaller market where you need to depend on the draft picks. You need flexibility to compete in a market like that. It's unfortunate, but it also feels like a somewhat natural parting of the ways that went down about as smoothly as you could have asked for.
Yeah, and it's really we talked about it multiple times when the Timberwolves were making that run. I remember I said they have a decision to make:
Mhm.
Karl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert was the last in, whereas Karl Anthony Towns was the first in. You the
Mhm.
first out. I'm not really sure if I would have traded Karl Anthony Towns, but I also see why they did. He has
And for what you get back, that's pretty good.
He's more value. I think Julius Randle probably gives them more flexibility, if healthy, to lessen the burden of Rudy Gobert in the pick and rolls in the playoffs, because he gives
Mhm.
you the size, and you can bring Nas
And some
Reed,
playmaking off of Anthony Edwards,
right, and he can run the
potentially.
court a little bit better, more downhill, and then you get a knockdown 3-point shooter instead of having your 7'1" center playing and trying to play like a 2 guard.
Another 2-3 defender to pair
Right.
with McDaniels
Yeah.
is big.
Yeah, so you have a lot more flexibility to match up with Boston if you need to, or whether it's LA, and it also gives you a lot more flexibility dealing with the Joker
Yes.
and what they have out there in Denver, who I think might be the odds-on favorite to get back to the championship.
Ooh,
Or
I'm taking the Thunder.
Thunder. I don't know about them. Now we'll get into that, or
Okay.
Dallas. It's
Okay.
going to be thick out there.
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
think it's a good move, because anytime you can add two, like, multiple skilled players, you actually add 4, because it gives you 2 more extra lineups. So I think it'd be good. It'd be interesting to see what Karl Anthony Towns does with this, and if Thibodeau can maybe bring a little bit more edge to him.
Yeah.
But that's the big news in the NBA. And then obviously, the Lakers had their press conference with LeBron and Bronny. What was going to happen. I do think Bronny will eventually be a viable NBA player. He'll never be his dad, and that's fine. I never was my dad, and that's fine. But I think he will carve his own path because of his mindset. But now to football, NFL. When I know you watched Wide Receiver 1, and Devontae Adams was awesome in that.
Yes.
But it also let me know something, though, about his time at the Raiders. And I always started to educate people, or try not to get them to listen, and say, listen, if you listen to what they say, they will tell you everything that you think that you're hearing. It will be actually the opposite. When he said, I came down here solely for Derek Carr, and then you just essentially traded him, part of him was gone. He didn't say it, or you didn't hear it, but he said it. Then he said, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. I would force a trade. That lets me know it's already crossed his mind. And his agent talked to it. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to stay here. And then he bought in with Antonio Pierce. Now we're at the thing where after a bad loss, Antonio Pierce felt like some guys were making business decisions, as you should. Antonio Pierce should know. He's a former player.
Right.
You got to make business decisions because you didn't get him a quarterback. That's on you. You still could have traded for Michael Penix. You could have done something more in free agency. You brought in Gardner or Minshew, who is just like a big league chew. He's all chewed up. And so now it comes out to where Antonio Pierce was petty. You like the tweet by, potentially saying that the Raiders were open to trading him. I mean, really? This is what you're doing? This is it is Max Crosby, Devontae Adams in that locker room. And you're taking a shot as a former player. You're taking a petty shot at him. Bad move.
You got to know how it's perceived, right? The internet's going to find it. You know they are. You're an NFL head coach in a combustible situation.
Right.
You got to know.
And you're with the Raiders. And Devontae was on a podcast. He said he hadn't had any conversations with him. Now, if it was something that you just liked just because I guess you're on social media, when you're playing as bad as the Raiders, your head coach shouldn't be on social media liking anything. But okay, you had free time. Maybe you're on the porcelain throne and having, drop some kids off. But at the end of the day, to not communicate with one of your best players, because he's a good dude. He works hard, but he had a hamstring pull the Friday before a game. I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay. For people looking in here, All right. Come Fridays, nobody's pulling hamstrings. Nobody's really running routes deep in the NFL at this point. First of all, they barely even practice. That's the honest to God truth.
Yeah, no.
So you're not running full go. It's not training camp. So they shut him down, and then it came out, and these reports don't come out of nowhere. And it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Does he go to the Jets? Does he go to Kansas City?
Does he go to Buffalo? Does he go to the Commanders?
Does he go? Listen, that's what I want.
Does he go to Pittsburgh?
There's a lot of places to go. I would tell you this. From Devontae Adams, if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, if I'm Amari Cooper, if I'm T. Higgins, if I am anybody that has 1 or 2 years left in my contract, and you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be on the move. And here's a name that might be thrown in there. I don't think he'll do it, but I listened to his when they interviewed him when he was on LeBron's barbershop. Stephon Diggs. Here's why. Stephon Diggs is a number one receiver in the right situation. He's more of a 1B, 2A, but a very strong 2A. He wants to continue to 1A. Nico Collins is that man.
Yes.
Tank Dell is that man. I don't know if he wants to share that much, especially with Dalton Schultz on there, and then obviously Joe Mixon, and then obviously CJ Stroud. He wants to be one of the guys that they sit down with Saturday night to ask him what's going on. And then he can see if he moves. I don't think it happened because he seems pretty happy in Houston. Just think about this.
But free agency, right?
Right.
He's looking elsewhere right now.
Right. He's looking elsewhere right now, but also you could get started early. Now, just think about this. He still has value. He shows he can still play, and he's done multiple things down in Houston. Somehow he gets traded to Kansas City. And that offense with those hands, his ability, because you already got the top off guy in Worthy. And then if Hollywood ever comes back, well, then you got the intermediate killer in him with Patrick Mahomes, sure-handed, veteran, and you don't have to worry about him not running the right route under pressure because he'll do the right thing. And Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen kind of plays like Patrick Mahomes at times when it's money time. It takes the pressure off Travis Kelce, let him hit his second stride. Now, I don't think it'll happen, but that would be a match made in heaven.
I can see it. And there's a couple reasons I don't think it'll happen. Number one, Devontae Adams was floated out there for the Chiefs. They have to get creative with cap space.
And money. Chiefs don't want to invest in receivers yet.
No.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Al Davis's son would trade with the Chiefs? Not a snowball's chance.
That ain't going to happen.
Right. So there's that. And if you're the Chiefs.
So those two are, Devontae's done.
Yeah. If you are Kansas City and Houston, I agree that Kansas City should at least look at Stephon Diggs. Is it worth it to give up future assets to a younger team than you? A team where its core is younger, right? Yeah, I know Kansas City's still one of the younger teams, but Houston's obviously ascendant. They're coming up. Do you want to give that team young, cheap, controllable swings at talent? I don't know. And if you're Houston on the flip side, do you want to be responsible for extending the Chiefs dynasty? Even if it's just for this year, if they patch it together, do you want to be Buffalo 2.0 and help the Chiefs win another Super Bowl? I don't think you necessarily want that. I mean, I think the Chiefs, to some degree, we talk about the bad team tax, right? In free agency, you got to pay a little bit more to get those guys there. The Chiefs might have to overpay for Stephon Diggs because I don't think another AFC contender would want to give them a piece to help them out.
Right.
So if you're Houston, I really hold Kansas City's feet to the fire. You want this guy? You're doing us a service by taking him off of our roster. He's been good, but we have all these other weapons. It makes it easier to give the touches to those guys. If I'm Caserio, their GM, I might not even answer Veach's call once.
Yeah.
Make him look desperate. Make him go add an extra fifth. Make him add an extra sixth, whatever it is on top.
Yeah, or watch Kansas City struggle.
Yeah.
And obviously with Rice being out for the rest of the season, now your bargaining power for Kansas City goes down. So when you talk about AFC teams not helping the Chiefs, well, that eliminates Cincinnati. That eliminates potentially. Now Cleveland will do anything. Cleveland might. I think Amari Cooper's on his way out. But DeAndre Hopkins maybe depends on what Tennessee's doing. So if the AFC is like, hey, we're not going to help him. Now we have to start to think who in the NFC would fit AFC teams.
Before we get there, is DeAndre Hopkins cheaper or more expensive this year? Chiefs didn't go get him last year. will it cost him more or less to bring him in compared to what it would have taken last year?
He's playing a pretty good year this year.
He is, with Will Levis at quarterback.
Right. And he's more healthy. He's healthy this year. If they trade for him right now, it's going to cost a little bit more. Here's a team that could be in the market of moving guys who are just popped. Jacksonville. Christian Kirk.
They're the last winless team in the NFL.
Right, Christian Kirk and those type of guys. I think they have a chance to move one of those guys because, number one, you got to do something. What happens, I'm going to tell you this, what happens in the NFL, you're up in these meetings, excuse me, and everybody's trying to pass the buck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to trade a player to get everybody's attention because you want to end the season on a positive note. So what better way to get the attention? Trade one of our high-priced guys. It'll be interesting to see what happens as this start to pick up momentum. Do the Jets make a move? They don't really need it. I think they just need to play better. What do the Chiefs do? But we're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to extend in the second segment. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, Old School. We'll be right back.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second segment, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School Live again out here at the complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. It's starting to get popping up in here. Lincoln's premier boxing facility, the complex, formerly known as Champions Fun Center, owned by Tommy and Tina in connection with Southside Boxing Gym, newly renovated, 17,000 square feet, max capacity of 1,800 people, especially come Saturday night, come out after a Husker victory. Food and alcohol options will be available. The event is called Roughnecks at the Complex. Doors open at 6 p.m. First bout at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at thecomplexlincoln.com. 8 professional boxing bouts coming this Saturday, including Brandon Diaz against Curtis Ellis, Melanie Timko versus Randy Babydoll, Langley Morales, Clyde Johnson versus Isaiah the Patriot Robinson, and Dwayne Johnson against my man Jack Lawless, whose middle name or whose nickname is his middle name.
Makes you wonder where mom and dad got it.
I like it, though.
I do.
It fits him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wired up pretty tight, and he's over there getting warmed up, man. He's pretty, got some good feet on him, too. So, look, they got some stuff.
Breaking in those new shoes, you said.
Yeah. And they're trying to they got everything setting up. I mean, obviously, it's Saturday evening, so they got everybody that's a part of this, the complex and the gym, setting up for the seats ringside and stuff. So we thought maybe they had an event tonight. It does, it does take some time to get it going. So,
1,800 people takes a while to set up for.
It does, man. And so, it's pretty spacious, and it's obviously, grown since we were here the last time. But one thing that has grown, Austin, is the expectations on our Huskers. Start off, 3-0, drop a game, go back to Purdue, not the best first half, and then obviously the second half was excellent. It looked a lot more energy. It looked like a totally different team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was a hangover from Illinois of the letdown of letting yourself down. I still believe, and this is not being biased, or a homer or anything like that. It's just I try to be as real as possible, right? And I do realize how hard it is because I equate college football to professional football, especially probably to professional football when I played. I feel the NFL is entertainment, and that's just from me looking at it, seeing it, and obviously, being able to evaluate it. So I really realize how hard it is to win a game, right? What it takes and what you need to happen. Throw on this day and age of NIL, transfer portal, losing coaches, not enough runway to develop your program or build your program, so forth and so on. Now, I'll still say this: I think Illinois is a good team. I think they were a good team last year. They just didn't play well. I still don't think that if Nebraska played them 10 times, that Illinois beats them more than twice. I do, under my evaluation and my stats and my analytics, they hit on 6 crucial situational plays. Some were trick plays and some were decoy plays, but they hit on all 6. And then Nebraska obviously didn't play well up to their standard, which is a good problem. It's a bad problem when you don't do it. Now, you go to Purdue, and a young team, never been on the road, with a 19-year-old freshman quarterback, playing great, by the way. You had to get used to going into enemy territory and also playing at 11 o'clock and creating your own quote-unquote juice. I think Coach Rule tried to, probably had a good, pulse on the team. They need to get after it a little bit. They started slow. And I wouldn't even say they started slow, because offensively they moved the ball. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot, kind of like Saturday night or the previous Saturday night.
Right.
Now here comes Rutgers. And now we're turning the page to Rutgers. I texted you and say, okay, what do you think the 2 or 3 things that Nebraska needs to do to beat Rutgers? I'll just give you 2 things. Now, this is everything being equal, that they don't go out there and dookie down the leg, right? I think what they need to do is shoot to break even or win the special teams battle. That's kicking, coverage, ball placement, situational special teams, tackling. That's number one. Number 2 is you got to hit this running back, and you got to control them, and you got to win the knockback battle. And here's why. When you hit him, gang tackle him, push him back. Gang tackle him, push him back. No hidden yardage, no extra yards after contact. Get as many hits on this dude as possible. Because I think his name is Kyle Monagai can flat out make you miss in a phone booth. But once he gets going, he could be a little bit of a problem. He does have breakaway speed, but he has excellent vision and short area quickness. Now, for people out there, I will be, starting to break down plays on my Jay Foreman YouTube channel. Shameless plug. I'm looking at you right there. So I'm gonna keep doing it, right? So when we get on this whiteboard, I'll explain the difference, eventually what they do and what other teams do. So this is what Rutgers does well. They have a big offensive line, huge left tackle. My man is definitely going to be a bodyguard if he doesn't make it in the league. But he's actually pretty good. They run a more of a delayed inside-outside zone. I know I've heard, people describe it as inside-outside zone. It's not. It's more of a kind of a smokescreen draw, delayed inside-outside zone. Now, they'll dice it up some, and they'll run split zone. They'll run pin down, and they'll run wing, and then pull the tackle. It hits at the same spot. So at the end of the day, it's where the ball is.
Someone get to the scat, please.
So what they've done, and which is very, very smart, is they've looked at the strengths and weaknesses of their offensive line, and then they looked at the superior strength and running ability and vision and athletic ability of their running back. They've married their running game to it, along with a more than capable quarterback in the RPO, which then allows them as an offensive group to potentially dictate the coverage or read it, easier and more readily. The reason why they run this delayed split zone, inside, outside zone, whether they generally like to attack the B or C gap, especially to the defense's left and the offense's right, is they like to engulf you as an offensive lineman and then just turn you a little bit. And then they put all the onus on the running back, who has really good vision, short area quickness, and explosive in and out of his cuts, to make the right decision. And then once he gets to the second level, what they try to create a little bit of, I guess I'll call it eye candy, second guessing to get you to peak and not know where you want to go. So how do you combat that? Number one, you got to know the ins and outs of not only your job, but everybody around you's job. And you got to own and dominate your gap. That means you got to get in the guys, heavy-handed, force, get off the block, run like heck, and go make football plays. That's how you stop this running game, or that's how you control this running game. If you're up there dancing and try to just lock out and peek and all that stuff, they're just going to maul you and engulf you because they got a big offensive line.
And that's just the thing. Bullock and Bayer especially are not huge linebackers, right?
No.
Thompson's a little sturdier. Shaver's probably more an athletic guy as well. I think there are really two ways for Nebraska to go at this, right? Either get really close, get up underneath and squirt through.
Yeah.
Or hang back, see your gap, boom, go get it, right? If you let Rutgers, like you said, get their hands on you, you're not strong enough to get off, right? So there's a very fine line between, getting too close and not being close enough.
Yeah.
So if you can read their blocks, time them up, learn their cadence about how long it takes to get there, you can set the offensive lineman up, right? Thinking, yep, the linebacker is going to be here.
Yeah.
This is how Nebraska plays. Be off by half a count, either early and beat him to the spot, or late so he maybe stands up and then you boom, explode underneath.
Yeah,
him.
and you can do a little bit of both, Austin, and it's all about who's playing in front of you and who you're playing with and how much you know about the opponent's offense and your defense. Because ultimately, if you punch a hole in the offensive line and not get on an edge, you want to play head up to a shade once you get into a block versus on an edge where you're ripping up field. That's great. It looked great. Oh, you penetrated. Well, the dude just ran the other way. And now the center's up in the linebacker face, and you took yourself out of the play. And now I got the hardest job out there to do it, and it's a quick hitting play. Which you would ideally, if I could create a defense to do it, or an idea of defense. And I was just thinking about this again, partly because when I talk about 3-4 defenses, there's 3 really good 3-4 defenses that I'm putting on the Jay Foreman YouTube channel. Pittsburgh, San Francisco with Vic Fangio, because they had my 2 favorite linebackers out there ever. Combination guys, besides me and Jamie Sherman, but then also New England's. And you need a New England Patriots type of approach to stopping the run game.
So is that Nash Hutmacher, Vince Wilfork?
Yeah, they favor each other. Yeah, Nash. You know what? I'm sure I could
play like him even if you're not.
Yeah, I could say Coach Rule could let him wear overalls like
and nothing else.
I don't know if the Nash would do that, but here's what made New England's run defense really, really good against really, really good running backs. They created what's called a wall. So they would get essentially a half a step or like a full step across the line of scrimmage and create a wall. If I had the A gap, I'm in the A gap. I own the A gap. I'm not getting pushed out the A gap. I'm going to own it. If the linebacker's coming down, hitting it, B gap. Then there was nowhere the running back would just run into you.
Yeah.
And so therefore the delayed, or we used to call it mush draw, right? That's what defense is. It's called a mush draw because it's a mix between a draw or a delayed handoff, but it's the same running plays as if he's in the dot back or offset, right? That eliminates that slows it down, and he has nowhere to go, because if you got a big dude here, you got Ty, you got, whether it's Judy, you got Linhart, you got Butler, you got Sherman, you got Princewell, you got Bullock, you got Mackay, you got Javen Wright. It actually, there's nowhere to go.
And it's probably not blocked to where they're designed to cut back.
Right.
So you still have to be disciplined if you're in Nebraska, but if you're a running back, you don't have that, designed way back out of it.
Right. So sometimes, when you watch Washington play them, I watched the game twice, and then I watched Virginia Tech. Washington was doing actually a decent job. They were doing a good job getting off the ball, getting upfield, penetrating. Well, he was one cut down. Well, they're Washington's middle linebacker is Mark Bruner's son. Well, listed at 225. He's about 215. Well, the center's up on him, or the guard's right up on him. He was trying to get off the block, but my man is already hitting downhill, so you're in trouble. So that's how they were able to establish the run game. But then Washington did something very a little sneaky adjustment. They started to reduce their front. So reduce their front for people out there. So say if you're just playing a zero technique, which is Nash would be head up on the center, and say 2 5s. That means Ty Robinson and say Jamari would be head up on the tackles. You reduce it down to either both sides or one's in a 3, or outside shade of the guard, or both of them are in 3. So that means that both B gaps and then potentially if you run a stunt, the C gap play side, and then we're all taken care of. So therefore, he has to run on the edges. And that's where Washington had their kind of hybrid players, and they were able to do some good stuff along with stuff on offense. So I think that in order to really get control of this run game, number one, the advantage is us. We got to create the noise at home and the crowd effect or crowd noise that can affect their cadence by playing well. And then we're able to keep them. They're more of a we're punching them and they're catching. Rutgers plays a lot differently at home because they're doing the punching. So we need to punch and we need to rally and hit this dude. He's going to make guys miss, but we can't just sit there and think, okay, well, you just got to make the tackle. We all got to make the tackle. We got to rally and hit into the football, and we got to hit this dude.
I'll talk about the offense here because I know you're all in on the defense. For me, I think it comes down to Nebraska leaning into its identity of hit big plays early, salt away late, right? I think if Banks and Nair, whether it's drawing the pass interference penalties like they did against Purdue to move the ball, or making a big play, whether that's an explosive from Ja'Cory Barney if Nebraska is behind the sticks on second down, whether that's, Jalen Lloyd catching a real deep ball with room to run, whatever it is, Nebraska's, I think, got to hit an explosive play or two early, right? Soften Rutgers up a little bit, take those safeties one step back. I don't care if it's a tight end getting involved, whatever it is. I just think that's the formula for Nebraska offensively. I think that if you can score from a long ways out, right, if you get a 40-plus yard touchdown, great. But even, Jay, I mentioned this a couple times. I'd love your opinion, too. I think Nebraska could benefit, especially in the red zone. If you get a big play, you get inside, or as you'd say, like the green zone, right, 30 and in, 20 and in, whatever it is, go tempo. If you hit a big play, don't sub. Just go. Have that next play call dialed up, ready to go because you trust your guys. You're quick in Dylan's headset almost as soon as the receiver catches the ball. Hope he's paying attention to it, right? He should be here in his ear. And just line up, run something quick. If it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, at least they have to be ready for it. And then you can slow it down. Just see if you can get one over on them.
Yeah, I think that's what Washington did a little bit. But also I look at it like I think we have an advantage in the middle of the field, too. So that could be Fedoni, it could be Bonner. I think Borkacher. And yes, Lindenmeyer as well. And then also anybody else on crossing routes, obviously with the end cuts and stuff like that. I feel like.
Is Barney an over the middle guy or is he a straight edge guy?
He can get over the middle. And that's where I think that you can get explosive against Rutgers. Spread them out horizontally, kill them vertically inside the hashes, which then will open up the run game, whether it's the sweeps or inside, outside zones and the things that Emmett Johnson was able to do. I just think the biggest thing is, no turnovers or one turnover, and we're good. And stay on time and on schedule, at or ahead of the chains. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about Rutgers defense. Powell, the big linebacker, he's like a defensive end, good athlete. You want to get him moving out in space. That's what Washington had. Almost 600 yards in offense.
Yeah,
they won every category.
18 points.
Yeah. And now what I will say is this. I think that maybe they should have came out a day early. They sleptwalked 2.5 quarters and then turned the ball over. Obviously missed a field goal to go into overtime. And
missed 3 field goals.
Three
for Washington. And Virginia Tech fumbled the ball 3 times, lost 2 of them, and threw a pick.
Right. So all you have to do is not shoot yourself in the foot, not punch yourself in the face. I like our chances more than a puncher's chance. I like our to be able to dissect this team and be able to diligently move the ball and score points. And so they've done a good job, and we're +5, I think, in the turnover battle this year. And so as long as we do that, I think we'll be just fine. Now it won't be easy, right? It's an easy game plan, right? Because we broke it down. It's somewhat around there, right? But it's hard to do because Rutgers tries to do the simple things.
How big a loss is Toure for them? They lost him before the year, the linebacker.
Yeah, it is, because I think that him and Powell play off of each other so well. And that's the thing that was I think that their defense hasn't adjusted to yet. He's an NFL type of player. They didn't have him last year. They had him all spring. They kind of curtailed their defense to those two, along with Aaron Lewis. Now one of the guys is gone. The The replacement is done good, but it's not to the same
Not the
level.
same guy.
So, I mean, look, that happens, and that's the next man up mentality. But I think depth-wise, like I mentioned before, we have a little bit of advantage. But I got a card here. We got Bill Green waiting to come on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, come back, bring Bill Green on for about 5 minutes, and then we'll put a bow on this old school edition out here at the complex. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. Quick segment here before we turn this hump day into potential Thursday. We're live again out here at the complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. I want to bring another man in here that's putting this event on come Saturday night, the Roughnecks at the complex. We got Bill Green in here with B&B Boxing, helping with the event. How you doing, my man?
Doing well. It's fight week. Everybody ready. Tickets are flying. We're pumped.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned the tickets. You can get tickets at the complex, thecomplexlincoln.com. Talk about what goes into it. Obviously, everybody's trying to help and set up, and it's moving pretty good, man. It's awesome. It's looking really, really good in here. Just a matter of however minutes we've been in here. Talk about all that goes into putting on a great event like this.
Well, it's always the behind-the-scene work that people don't realize. People show up, already got a couple beers in them.
Yeah.
Saturday night, they're already pregame and they're already watching the Huskers, as you guys already talked about earlier. They're going to be ready for fights. So behind the scenes, you're seeing the ring being put up. You're seeing the seating being put together. You're seeing the last few stages of promoting, which is the hype, to be honest.
Yeah, and for you, obviously it's always a lead up to a big event. You got the excitement, and then you get the fights, and then when do you start to decompress and then think about the next one you put on? Because as fast as this one comes and goes, it's always like, okay, we got another one coming down the pipe.
Everybody wants to talk about the fights after the fights, but us people that treat it as a passion and a job, we want a week off.
Right.
But the show must go on because we're going to turn around. If you don't keep fighters active, that's when flaws come in.
Right.
Most fighters by habit are partiers. They're undisciplined unless you give them a reason to be disciplined. So by putting that carrot already out there that we're doing another show in February, and then BOMAC, we're going to do one in March, that gives hope for fighters. It keeps them active, but it holds them accountable.
Right.
They will stay in the gym through the holidays.
Yeah, we got Bill Green here with B&B Boxing. I want to always ask everybody, what got you into the boxing game? What are in the fight game?
Believe it or not, I've worked in the juvenile justice system for years, and I had all these kids getting sent away to Kearney.
Right.
It's like, what are you getting sent for Kearney? Fighting. Well, you were there 8 times.
Yeah.
Kearney isn't working.
Right.
We got to try something else. So my hometown, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, there was an old gym that shut down. So right from there, I've always been a fan, always done some media things. But then I'm like, you know what? We got to start this gym from nothing, build the program, get sponsors, do fundraisers. And then I had to learn how to be a coach on the fly.
Right.
So a lot of work way back, and I've known Bo and Red and the team for years, and even Bud when he started. And when I moved from Scottsbluff here to Lincoln
Yeah.
and Omaha, it was an easy transition because we all put our minds
Right.
together and kind of started things off, and we had a good run.
Yeah, you talk about you mentioned coming from Scottsbluff here, and having affiliation with Bo and Bud. Talk about how inspiring it is because you've seen the behind the scenes and that Bud started. I remember seeing a thing on where his first fight he got like $60 or something like that.
Yeah, $100.
$100
in Denver.
Yeah, he probably took home 60,
Right,
and
right.
then can't even get a bus fare back. Talk about how inspiring that is. Not only when you're talking to some of the youth that come in, and then obviously the aspiring fighters, but just for yourself, the association, and then also the support that they give you because they haven't forgot where they came from.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of guys like Bud or even some of the Hall of Famers, Doug Kaluza's here, one of the pioneers. A lot of these coaches are ex-fighters, and they remember back when the money wasn't so great.
Right.
We're now seeing boxing take off in terms of financial, where you can get 6-7 large purses, and that money can make money, such as Bud. Bud's set for life.
Right.
Now he's fighting for legacy. But in terms of what that does to a community, before in Omaha, you fought as the B-side.
Right.
You were the guy to come in and you made some money, but you were brought in to lose.
Right.
Bud changed that belief.
Right.
And it started with hope. I think that's why you're seeing the coach, the Husker coach, bring him in.
Yeah.
Look at this story right here.
Right.
This is a kid that started at 8 years old. They told him to move away, move to Vegas, go to California. You cannot compete here in Omaha. It's just not meant to be. It's never been done.
Right.
So now all these amateurs, including in our gym here, they're like looking up. They're like, wow,
I can do that.
I've met him.
Right.
I've been at a wrestling tournament with these kids.
Yeah.
Look where he's at.
Right.
Steve Nelson's another good one. He was in 30 different foster homes as a kid. Tell
Right.
me he ain't a role model.
Right.
So I think Nebraska is finally putting them on the map in terms of we're no longer opponents.
Right.
And it is definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely inspiring because I was just telling Clyde, from when we were just back here, I think in May, things have obviously grown, and then obviously putting on this event, you could tell it's going to be even more big time, and obviously with the ring going up, and it's kind of like almost the finishing touches on a house. But for you, Bill, as we move forward, I always talk about getting ready for the game. You got a really, really good lineup here. Who are you excited to see? And I won't ask you to pick, but who are you excited to see come Saturday night?
Well, I mean, a quick spin off of the lineup. It's unreal. Dwayne Johnson, who fought on Bellator, he's been in nationals 3 different times. He's the boogeyman of the era.
Mm-hmm.
Before Bud, it was Dwayne.
Yeah.
No one would fight Dwayne.
Right.
Well, he got away from boxing. He went MMA,
Mm-hmm.
and he did his thing. Now he's in boxing. Nobody wanted to fight him except for Jack Lawless Frericks.
Right.
And to get some fame, you have to fight a name.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the purpose of that fight. And I got a little slack this week for talking trash, and some people were saying, Bill, why are you running your mouth? I said, if nobody sees this fight, it's shameful.
Right.
Why would you have 2 guys like that are made for each other with
Right.
nobody here?
Right.
We sold 5 tables today
Right.
because of my mouth. So
Right.
I think I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
a pretty
you're
good
doing
job.
all right. Yeah. You're doing all right, right? Yeah. Who else you excited to see?
Clyde and Isaiah
Yeah.
Robinson. Robinson just beat Demetrius Alexander, which is a fighter that I used to train.
Right.
And Isaiah's very good hands. He's an ex-wrestler. He actually trains at B&B.
Right.
We use him for sparring sometimes. He's a very confident young man that believes in his skill set. He's awkward.
Yeah.
He took this fight with Clyde a couple weeks ago.
Right. Yeah.
because
Yeah. Clyde was saying.
he's feeling
himself. Right.
That's a good fight just because of the confidence.
Right.
You know,
'Cause you
and
just
that's
never
the
know, right?
majority of it.
Yeah.
Clyde's a big guy. He's hungry.
Yeah.
And Clyde's just, if you don't root for Clyde, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's a great dude. We always obviously keep him in our thoughts over at the ticket. We're up against the clock though.
All right,
but
man.
we got Bill
Appreciate
Green,
it.
B&B in pocket. But again, Roughnecks at the Complex, Lincoln.com. We'll blast it out there on the ticket. We'll make sure that we're representing the ticket here on Saturday night after a Huskers victory.
Heck yeah.
And obviously a great lineup here out at the Complex, 1555 Yolanda Avenue. Thanks for coming on at short notice. To my main man over here, Austin, we're old school. We'll holler at you tomorrow.